Hi.
Thank you so much for calling me. I'm on my way right now.
That's okay.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, bye.
I don't know. Something like that. But I think one of my things, I like being out in the sun. I'm very, so fair, and I just, I'm afraid I'm going to get sunburned, and I do like the water, but I just never really for that. You know,
Hi, everyone, and I apologize. I'm late. Um,
Hello.
we were in the middle of this I do Jung at Harp conversation right before this, and it was just this moment of like, which was great. So, anyway, shall we begin?
For sure.
Recording in progress.
Wow. I'm just looking at the group. Um, so happy to see everybody. So this is Friday, August 18th, and we are working on getting the modulation staircase out there into the world. I've been struggling with the back end, so I got it to a certain place, and I'd love to show it to everybody today. I know there's other things that we want to do musically, but I just realized, that actually getting something, the stuff that we're so often struggling with isn't the music itself, but it's everything about like how do you actually deliver it, either on the page or is it a class or is it sheet music? What is it? I'll show you what we ended up with, and I would just love feedback on it. But is there anything else we're working on that we want to get to? Like I know we've sort of left my mother's Mexican hat in the dust, but we don't have to.
At some point down the road, I would like to revisit it. But
Great, I would too.
This is priority.
Okay, great.
So.
And okay, great. All right, so I'll just share with you where I got to. All right, so first I want to show you the quote sales page. I think this is it. Is this it? Yeah. Okay, so it took forever to make this, but this is what I came up with. This drawing. Does it look like, have you guys seen this yet?
I get it.
What?
I get it.
Okay. I mean, did I already show this to you guys last week?
I have not seen.
No, I saw it on Slack, but
okay, all right. So I literally got like a staircase, and then little by little I realized, oh, I could put a column on it. Why did I choose this one? And so it ended up like this. What are the positives and negatives that you're seeing here?
What is the meaning of the red egg?
Ha ha ha! Ho, ho, ho. This is only a harpist would know that,
like a harp.
right?
Of course, it's a harp. The red.
Oh, so the red ones, they're C's.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
okay.
yeah, if you look at it, you'll see that it actually is like C D E F. It's our blacks F G A B C D. So this starts on E actually. E. No, it doesn't start on it. I don't know. It starts on something. F.
Okay.
But,
so that's a thing that harpists will know, and it's okay that I didn't know at the beginning.
Well, yes, it's actually okay because it's almost like a secret code. I mean, did every harpist notice that? Every harpist who looked at this?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that popped out at me was, this color coded by the strings.
Okay, great. And now that we're saying this, I'm wondering if I should make the very bottom one black, but I don't know. We can always look at that later. All right, so, figuring out what it was called and, like the modulation staircase for lever harps, and then I began realizing, oh my God, this whole thing is a staircase. The whole thing is a staircase. So is this the first flight? Is this the first 3 steps? And as I started, as so often happens when I get into the marketing, it kind of helps clarify the project. So, I didn't even know how, what to say here, but what if you had a virtual game, a virtual learning game that taught you to modulate? What if it made you confident to modulate to any key, unafraid of your levers, admit it, you are scared of them, never confused by key signatures again? That's what you get with the modulation staircase. So do you all agree that this is true?
Yes.
Okay. What?
I'm terrified of my levers.
Oh, exactly. Oh, maybe that's what I should say. Terrified of levers.
Scared works.
Right. So I don't know if this wording is right, but it's like fly beyond the sheet music with this new concept in interactive training. I just made that up this morning. I don't even know if that makes sense, but that was the next part. Experience the power of modulation to expand your confidence, flexibility, improvisation, and creative expression. The modulation staircase is the first step in the full modulation warm-up series that includes warm-ups in arpeggios, scales, rhythms, classical and jazz techniques. That's all on its way, but your first step is the modulation staircase. Now, I don't know if that's true, because if the whole thing is the modulation staircase, then do I say, but now it's time for your first step. I didn't know whether to call this the first flight of stairs, the first, steps 1, 2, 3. I'm still playing with those ideas. And I also am not sure whether to put this on the page or not. What's really cool about this is it's literally, you can manipulate it with your, like right there on the page, you can manipulate it with your, I'll give you a link to the page, with your buttons, and it lets you see this. And I didn't know whether this would be helpful to actually have on the sales page or not.
Then we can appeal, there to give a little preview, certainly.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I didn't know if it would give it away or, what.
That would be the other thing. I don't know if you want to do the whole thing, but.
Oh, I see. Like just show just a little bit like that.
Maybe
I see. Or maybe I just show it in a video on that page. Any other thoughts? Anybody go ahead and jump in. Is it?
I think it's nice to show it in a video.
Okay.
And then when you take the actual course.
Right.
Then you get the real one.
Right. Okay. All right. That's great. Anything else I should say about it? I call it the star chart modulation wheel, because that's what it looks like to me. But
I think that name works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the other thing that I changed about it is I added those, I added the name there. And I'm finding that doing these exercises it really is changing my ability to have the whole sense of modulation and actually even be able to see the levers without panic. It's surprising to me that the very first exercise we created, the simple one, has had such a profound effect on my brain. I don't know whether we want these in here, but it's part of the page: confidence, options, flexibility, learn the pattern, step on the staircase, play. And every day you take it further, make it stronger. I don't know what this second line is. I can't say it in my language, which is every day your brain takes on a better shape, but that's not, I mean, that's what I experience, but I don't think other people would feel it that way. Any other thoughts about that language?
No, I think that language is okay, because I think people learn in different ways, and I think that's kind of a generic way of saying it. I don't have a problem with the language there.
Okay. And Tammy, you represent probably our prime candidate. What do you think of the language? Is it compelling? Does it make you feel
compelling?
okay? It feels good that every day you take it further and you make it stronger.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
to me, that feels like a program that you might want to follow, kind of thing. I don't know. How to say it
Okay.
that way.
All right. So I don't know if I think this is the wrong language. This is just what the beta team said, but I think it should be something, where what the people who got to test it out. And this is literally what they said. I'm loving this color-coded pattern for modulating. This is so helpful. I've been wanting to noodle in more keys, and this gives me some good tools. And this happens to be like a professional. I don't know if we should put that. Like, this is someone who's just getting started. This is someone who's plays with symphony orchestras, concertos. This one is someone again who's started as an adult. So anyway, so great. Help us. Lever harpers have facility to play music that modulates, makes so much easier to see patterns. It's an easy structure to remember. Also, the changes are logical. Seeing it written down makes it easier to see the structure. And I can figure out how the circle of fifths works, but I can't always remember it. So this is a very helpful way to remember how to transition through it. So do those all seem useful quotes?
Yeah, I actually like Wendy's a lot because she stresses the lever harp.
Aha. Okay.
I think a lot of lever harp players feel left in the dust.
I see. So, oh, really? So maybe move that one up?
Like that. I just for some reason, that one just really stuck out to me because, they're certain.
I'd almost bold lever harps as well, so it stands out.
I see. Okay. All right. So what I'm hearing is this really focusing on this being for lever harps.
Well, I think,
pedal harpists can do it. I mean,
it's just there's not really a lot out there that focuses on technique for lever.
I see. Well, one of the reasons that I'm asking is that at one point I was looking at, we do have I was literally created another image that is, it's getting so complicated now. That was this. Like this, and I'm assuming we don't want, and then I went back to the lever harps. I mean, what?
Yeah, I like the lever harp better.
Okay, all right.
The lever harp better.
Okay, great.
So, I think it's psychological because I think when you see lever harp as a pedal harpist, you can play it.
Ha 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 ha
Lever
ha.
harp, as a lever harpist, will think, "Oh my God, maybe I cannot play it."
Aha, interesting. Okay, great. And that's making me think that it might be helpful to have some FAQs at the bottom, just so that we can put things like, can lever harps play this? And so I'm just going to add that like right now while I'm thinking of it, if that's okay. Let me just quickly add an FAQ section. And Tammy, would you write down that question or that just, can we take a minute to oh, are you transcribing it? Is this being transcribed, Tammy?
Yeah, I've got the
Okay, could you guys
dialogue.
Put down any FAQs like that? Like, does this work for lever harpists or anything else that you're noticing we might want to bring out in the marketing?
Okay.
I'd love to have that from everybody. And I'm thinking of just FAQs. It won't look like this, but I'm just putting this here so I'll have notes. What other questions might people have?
What level is it for?
Great.
Because I think you want to make sure that a beginner knows they could use this as well as a professional.
Do you agree? I mean, what even beginners?
Well, at least a fledgling. I don't. I mean, the one exercise you do is pretty. Other than the lever changes, it's.
Okay.
No, I mean, I'm good at this. I would love to know if somebody like Tobola could really play this.
Oh.
And I don't really mean to pick on Tobola.
No, but she's great. She's perfect. I mean, it's so great for us to have specific people that we can look to tell us, to give us a reality check. Tammy, can you reach out to Tovola or I mean, either Tammy or Sally, and actually get her input on this?
Because she's being very self-taught, and I just have a sense that she's really, I don't know how well she's finding her way around the harp, so I'd be really curious to know if this is something she could do.
Okay, that's great, because you're also making me think, who do we need testimonials from to help people identify? I'm just putting this for myself. I know we won't get this done quickly. So Tovola, like, we need like representatives. Like Tovola represents
somebody else in that area, I mean, Fern might be a good
right.
But I think Fern can play more than Tovola, has
right.
more.
So I think Fern represents a firm fledgling player. Let's say Robin Gordon Cartier represents somebody who can read really well. Christine represents somebody, represents like a high level classical player who plays both lever and pedal harp. Verena would represent a concert musician who doesn't play pedal harp, right? And Helene and Verena would represent teachers who might use this in certain ways.
Anybody who is comfortable in the group is comfortable as doing more of like jazz and arrangements and improv and stuff, because I think this could help.
So I think Sally represents someone who just wants more freedom and flexibility, right?
Yeah.
And I would say that Ruth Shepard, I think is a representative of something. I'm not sure exactly what, but I do know she is.
We have a lot of people who do therapy and also a lot of people that are into like doing like for yoga, meditation, yoga. Kind of thing.
Okay, right. Okay, so we have so many people in the academy who represent. I'm also thinking of Carol Henley, who represents someone plays for fun. What would that be meaning? How would it be meaningful to her? And then like Julia.
I was thinking, Julia's an experienced player,
right? Yep, that's great.
That I don't play pedal harp.
Yeah, I think you had it backwards, Deborah.
Verena doesn't play pedal harp? Oh, sorry.
But I play lever harp too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, yes.
Oh,
Sometimes.
okay. All right. And do you teach? And you teach as well, right?
Yes.
And do you teach both lever and pedal?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you in the group that's just on a pedal harp right now? Maybe I don't. I think she plays lever harp.
Who?
Lisa plays mostly lever or pedal harp.
Pedal,
but
right.
She's getting into lever harp. She's looking for a lever harp.
Yeah.
And then Tammy would represent, someone on the cusp of, of becoming a professional healthcare musician, right?
Yeah. I could definitely see using this in the healthcare setting.
Well, it would be interesting to ask.
Yeah.
So I think the questions we'd want to ask are, how is this useful? And what other questions would we want to ask? What do you like about it? How is it useful? What does it make possible? Any other questions?
Do you need to know anything about theory before starting it?
Ooh, I'm going to put that up here. What do you think the answer is? I think you don't.
So
I think you do.
Really?
Well, I think it's going to help you figure it out.
But what if but I have it that you don't have to figure it out. Okay, so we argued about this.
Oh, I don't know.
I have it that people could just follow the game and harmony will occur to them.
Okay.
I think it'll help reinforce the key signatures.
Because
you have to know which levers to move up and down.
Yeah,
from one key signature to the other.
I never thought of it. I mean, and I've been playing since I was 10 years old, everyone. I never thought of it in terms of, I knew I was changing keys, but I never thought of it in terms of I'm going from this key to that key.
Oh, really?
I mean,
you never.
I'm a very strange reader in that respect. I'm kind of like a person that speaks the language perfectly phonetically.
Right.
But doesn't necessarily understand what she's saying. That I was very much, I set my pedals, I go, there's pedal change.
Right. Oh, I see. So you're saying that if they follow this pattern, if their brain is like yours, nothing will ever occur to them. It'll just.
Necessarily. I think what it does is because the whole idea here is you're so deliberately going from one next that for me, my brain may not go into the new key, but at least I'm aware.
I see. So
because that's part of the game,
I see.
Whereas even though I see that change in key signature in the score, and I know, I'm modulating from this to that. I never really thought about it.
Right. I think you'll start thinking about it after playing this game.
Yeah.
I think which is making me think that it could be fun at some point to start taking things out of the modulating wheel, like remove the lever chart and then remove,
as you get more advanced in your playing.
Right.
Like, to me, when I'm looking at it, okay, if I'm going from E flat to B flat, okay, I have to lower my A flat.
Okay.
Right. So just getting that in my mind, what order do I have to do my meter changes? It also reinforces, these are your flats that you're using in this key, or to change to this key, I need to raise this lever.
Yeah.
And same with sharps too, because you don't always think of, like, I don't know how many people grew up with, what is it? Battle ends and down goes Charles's father.
Oh.
And I still remember that, and that's from like 40 some years ago.
Wow.
I had a mnemonic, by the way.
Yeah, like I always, and I still use it today.
One of the big things, oh God, I had a revelation as I was working on it last night, I had a revelation that's why the pedal harp, and I've been told this, but I didn't know this, that's why the lever harp is tuned in E flat, because it gives you almost an equal number of flat keys. Well, it gives you an equal number of flat keys and sharp keys to be in. And I just never thought that.
It's the most variety of keys for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that we've got people in the group that certainly don't even know the order of sharps or flats.
Right. But they will, I think they will notice it if they keep doing this. I really think, I don't know, I just think that when you get bored with something and you keep doing it, you do start noticing things. There's that like, oh, duh moment.
Well, and this also helps with your arpeggios to get them in your fingers.
Yeah, certainly further on. So why don't I show you, so that this is just the sales page I've been showing you. Why don't I show you both the delivery page and also the sheet music that we now have of all 4 patterns. So this is welcome to the first flight of the modulation staircase. That's kind of funny. I just realized. I realized that's a double entendre, because it is the first flight. It's like steps 1, 2, 3, but it's also our first flight. And so I said the training is focused on lever harps, but pedal harpists are welcome to adapt it. Well, there's no adaptation actually. It's not needed. There's no adapting.
I will say down the road, and I know we got it already, but at some point as a pedal harpist, I would want to get into going from like C flat all the way down to C sharp.
Oh, right. That's right. That's right. That's why this is okay. So, right. Later on, we can actually expand this because all we have to do is create a second wheel.
Yeah.
And then, and that can be, we can just promote that on its own. It can have its own event.
This is a practice of going.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, we could actually do it. Ooh, I see what you're saying. Right. Okay. We're not going to worry about that right now.
Right now, but there are pedal harp, especially people who just moved to a pedal harp, who are not comfortable changing.
Right. Okay. So let's see how this is laid out, and maybe it'll be easy to have, this first, at least the steps 1, 2, 3, have one page for lever harps and one page for pedal harps, and that might be easy. Anyway, so this is me trying to set up the logistics of it, and I'll show you how I had it in my brain. So this was there was another one. Wait, okay.